If you had told me last year that a team with Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, and Lonzo Ball was overrated or barely even a playoff team, I would call that person a casual. However, nowadays, that's the main consensus with the Chicago Bulls is that they're not as good as people hype them up to be, or they're not really that good or not a contender. I don't know why so many people act like the Chicago Bulls are like a bad fit or a bad team. They literally don't have that much bad of a fit. Zach LaVine and Lonzo are knockdown three-point shooters, and the same thing for Nikola Vucevic. So the fact that people keep telling me that is why DeMar DeRozan isn't gonna work out on the team is pretty much ridiculous. Not only that, but this team has ridiculous talent. Like, are people forgetting this is the same Bulls team that had 3 All-Stars, 3 guys last year who averaged at least 22 points, at least 4 assists, and were shooting near 50% from the field on their own respective teams. And we talk about DeMar DeRozan and how his shooting is going to be detrimental, or they don't know how this team is going to fit. There's something called rotating players' minutes. There could be lineups where Nikola Vucevic and DeRozan are just out, where Lonzo and LaVine are just out, where Zach LaVine and Vucevic are in. I mean, there are a ton of different rotations that this roster can run. Breaking down each player individually, like I said earlier, Vucevic is a guy who put up 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 40% from the 3 on a Magic team whose second best player was Evan Fournier. Vucevic made a Magic team that literally had no talent into a borderline play-in tournament caliber team. And when he got to the Bulls, his numbers didn't really even drop, despite having LaVine for some of those games. Also leads to another player, which is Zach LaVine, a guy who last year averaged 27, 5, and 5 on 51% from the field and 42% from the 3 on 8 threes a game. I don't know why people keep saying that Zach LaVine is not better than Brown or not better than Bradley Beal because he didn't make the playoffs. Any team whose second best player is Thaddeus Young, chances are they're not going to make the playoffs, despite how good you are. And finally, we got DeMar DeRozan, who DeMar DeRozan is honestly the most underrated player himself right now. DeRozan, this past year, was on a Spurs team, clearly not that great talent-wise, had lost LaMarcus Aldridge, had lost Derek White to injury, and third best player was a 20-year-old Keldon Johnson, who averaged 13 points, and this was a team that had the least amount of three-pointers taken per any team in the league. And yet DeMar DeRozan on this roster averaged 22, 7, and 5 on nearly 50% from the field. In fact, that's kind of the even crazier thing that I hear is that DeMar DeRozan's not going to be that great because he can't shoot. And shooting in the NBA is definitely important for role players, but it's not a make or break thing, especially for stars. Like, if that's the case, these are like Jimmy Butler-esque numbers, the same type of points, same type of assist, same type of rebounds on same type of efficiency. And Jimmy Butler doesn't really take threes either. And not only that, we had Lonzo Ball on a team with Zion and Steven Adams, 2 guys who don't take threes. Also having Ingram and Eric Bledsoe, who at the very least are inconsistent 3-point shooters. He put up 15, 5, and 6 assists on 38% from the 3. This guy on a team with 2 all-star caliber players showed that he could still have a career season. The biggest knock on the Bulls is that they don't have a lot of depth. But the Bulls actually don't have that bad of depth. Patrick Williams, who's a really good rookie this past year, and I think he's going to take a jump, not statistically, but I mean play style. Caruso, who's a good role player. You also have White, who a lot of people talk about how White was benched last year. The only reason he was benched was because White is a great offensive player, and they already have LaVine in their starting lineup, so his offense would basically be wasted. They also have guys like Troy Brown, solid rotational people, Tony Bradley, solid rotational roster, and even Derrick Jones, who can really fit any system and is a nice 3-and-D player who's insanely athletic. Overall, I think the Bulls are a great team. I think that they are the most underrated team in the league. They have 3 of the most underrated players in the league. They have 3 players who, in my opinion, don't really even play that bad together. And I waited till the preseason to see if I was missing something, and they kind of just proved me exactly right that they could play really well with each other. I expect this Bulls team to actually be a contender, like a legit championship contender. I think this team could be a 4th seed, but let me know what you think about the Bulls in the comment section below. Do you think they're underrated or overrated? Let me know why in the comments. Like, comment, sub, and yeah, I'm out.